Hello and welcome to Military Mayday. Pointing out a few pieces on the chessboard. We got some pieces today. Let me tell you. Israeli military confirms some Israeli towns under Hamas control after major attack. Yeah. Picture of the boys here. Israeli military confirmed Saturday that Hamas has seized control of some Israeli towns and cities near Gaza Strip following a major surprise attack by the Hamas terrorist group. It is unclear exactly which Israeli towns and cities adjacent to the Gaza Strip have been taken over by Hamas. Hamas launched an unprecedented surprise assault Saturday morning that saw terrorists infiltrating Israeli territory and a Hamas terrorist group firing thousands of rockets from Gaza into the country. And there's a video of this. Israel hasn't seen an attack of this magnitude for years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu convened a security cabinet meeting at the Israel military headquarters in Tel Aviv and declared, "We are at war. Citizens of Israel, we are at war, not in an operation or in fighting rounds, but at war," he said in a video address. You can watch that address. This morning, Hamas launched a murderous surprise attack against the state of Israel and its citizens. Mr. Netanyahu said in Hebrew, "We have been in this since the early morning hours. I convened the heads of the secretary establishment and ordered, first of all, to clear out the communities that have been infiltrated by terrorists. This currently is being carried out. First of all, let's see here. First of all, let's remember this. First of all, to clear out the communities that have been infiltrated by terrorists. This currently is being carried out. At the same time, I have ordered an extensive mobilization of reserves that we return fire of magnitude that the enemy has not known. The enemy will pay an unprecedented price. In the meantime, I call on the citizens of Israel to strictly adhere to the directives of the Army and Home Front Command. We are at war and we will win." Some pictures. In a separate video message, Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant warned that Hamas made a grave mistake in launching barrages of rockets into southern and central Israel in this surprise morning attack. Hamas made a grave mistake this morning in opening a war against the state of Israel. Defense forces soldiers are fighting the enemy in all infiltration points. I call civilians to abide by the Home Front Command instructions and follow them to the letter. The state of Israel will win this war, he said in Hebrew. I believe that was a repeat. We have decided to put an end to these Israeli offenses so the enemy understands that the time of wreaking without being held accountable is over, he said in Arabic. In a broadcast on Hamas media early Sunday morning, around 8 o'clock a.m. local time, Hamas military leader Mohammed Dief announced the new attack against Israel as he urged Palestinians everywhere to fight. He claimed that over 5,000 rockets targeted Israel in just the first 20 minutes of the attack. We have decided to put an end to these Israeli offenses so the enemy understands that the time of wreaking without being held accountable is over, he said in Arabic. We announced at the start of Al-Qasaya flood operations. We also announced the first strike of Al-Qasaya flood operations has targeted sites of the enemy, its airports, and military fortifications during the first 20 minutes, and more than 5,000 rockets and missiles launched. Yeah, there's a little more. At 8:25 local time, Israeli military and Israeli Defense Force IDF declared a state of alert for war. The IDF said 10:40 a.m. the terrorists have invaded Israel from the sea, air, and ground. By 11 a.m. it announced about 2,500 rockets had been fired toward Israel. I've got a feeling they're probably doing this because they're sending troops and shit to Ukraine, money, so they see an opportunity. Hamas captures hundreds of Israeli military and vehicles. Yeah. Now here's where this comes in, if it will come up. Come on here. There it is. U.S. Defense Secretary, we will ensure that Israel has everything it needs to defend itself. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has already confirmed to be having conversations with Biden and French President Macron. We will ensure that Israel has everything it needs to defend itself, U.S. Secretary Lloyd Austin told Israeli media on Saturday. He made the comment in response to the onslaught of rockets and infiltrations that occurred throughout the day, which killed over 40 civilians and wounded over 700 others. There's some cars on fire. Don't look like nothing else damaged. Maybe a little bit something over there. Let's see here. I'm closely monitoring developments of Israel. Our commitments to Israel's right to defend Israel remains unwavering, and I extend my condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in a horrid attack on civilians. Read the statement posted. Yeah. Here's this one. Hamas terrorists infiltrated IDF base. Contact with soldiers cut off. Hamas terrorists reportedly infiltrated the IDF base located on Israel's southern district on Saturday, according to an Israel security source. Contact with these soldiers at the scene has been cut off. Isn't that interesting? Gaza border residents beg for help. They are slaughtering us here. There's no army. And what did Netanyahu say? That was, first of all, the first thing. Apparently, there's no army. Residents and communities adjacent to the Gaza Strip sought assistance on Saturday as armed terrorists firing indiscriminately breached their communities, attempting home invasions and torching residents. Desperate calls from residents indicated they could not defend themselves and demanded military intervention, but no troops arrived as civilians were taken hostage. We are under attack and no one is coming to help. For more than an hour and a half, there has been nonstop shooting. They are slaughtering us here. There is no army and no nothing. Look at them fine, outstanding young gentlemen. Just right down the street, basically, like they're in a third world. Okay, well, let's hear. Israel ramps up military response to attack by Gaza militants. And it has. There's nothing really here. It just says we're going to keep up on the latest. I might have to do a follow-up later on. Maybe today. I don't know if I have the time. I got to work, but let's see here. Here's a drone. You can see the soldier laying on the ground. If we can get this to pop up. The internet's trash today, let me tell you. Yeah, here it is. Hamas drone drops grenade on Israeli soldiers. There's one there in the ground. You can see. I don't know what kind of a grenade that was, but you think it'll laid these other dudes out too, unless this was that they came to his rescue. I'm not really sure. Anyway, I gotta close this up. I'm getting close to my time, I think. But yeah, if you like this kind of content, like the channel, subscribe, help me out a little bit. Try to bring you some more stuff. Anyway, toodaloo.